Welcome back, everyone. I hope you've been enjoying your holiday time and are excited to wrap up 2024.
Yes! Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby!
I know I'm ecstatic to see what 2025 will bring for myself, my friends, this channel, and for you guys. I recently started up this channel, and I'll be honest, it's been much harder than I thought to maintain a solid schedule for recording videos, editing videos, as well as working a full-time job and taking care of my 2 dogs. Plus, I got other responsibilities. It's been a lot.
Stop whining. Your kids are soft. You lack discipline.
This is a pretty big learning curve for me, but I'm hopeful that this new year will bring positivity as well as a bigger community here. I can't wait to dive into next year with y'all and grow this channel, but before we do, I wanted to make one final video for 2024. We are diving into the wild history of New Year's resolutions. So let's rewind to ancient Babylon, like 4,000 plus years ago. We're talking about a time where people thought bronze was cutting edge material.
Wow.
The Babylonians celebrated their New Year's during the middle of March in a festival called Akitu. Now, instead of getting fit or eating healthy, they made resolutions to return borrowed stuff, specifically like farm equipment. So basically, the first New Year's resolution was stop being a jerk and give people back their stuff.
You ate my sandwich?
It was a simple mistake. It could happen to anyone.
Oh, really? Did you confuse it with your own turkey sandwich with a moist maker?
No.
Do you perhaps remember seeing a note on top of it?
There may have been a joke or limerick of some kind.
But knowing humans, they probably spent the next year hoarding their neighbors' plows and ox. Classic. Now fast forward to ancient Rome, around 46 BC. This was during the time of Julius Caesar, and in fact, he thought, screw it, January 1st sounds like a good time for a fresh start. Named after Janus, Janus, the two-faced god of beginnings and transitions, Romans believed Janus could look backwards into the past year and forward into the future one. Now, the Romans would make promises of good behavior to Janus while probably trying to forget all the wine-soaked debauchery of the previous night. So Caesar introduced January 1st as the official start of the year.
I am the smart. I am the smart.
Clearly, he was into fresh starts, just not the kind that involved actual work. So they'd look at their past mistakes, shrug, and promise to do better next year. Sound familiar? Yeah, that's because most of us spend New Year's Eve looking back on a year full of bad choices and then immediately go and make more bad choices.
Do it again. I wasn't looking.
But hey, new year, new you, right? Now let's talk about the medieval knights, because apparently they had their own version of New Year's resolutions. In the 14th century, they had a tradition called the Vow of the Peacock. This is when knights would actually put their hands on a peacock. And for you freaks out there, no, this is not an innuendo. I am talking about the bird, a literal peacock. And they would make vows to uphold the knightly code of chivalry. Picture this, you're swearing an oath to be loyal to your lord and protect the weak, while still being f***ed up from the night before. But hey, nothing screams, I'm a badass knight, like clutching a bird.
Okay.
Now let's get to the 18th century, when the Methodists in England decided to make New Year's resolution a formal thing. Instead of getting wasted and making promises they'll never keep, they would gather for covenant renewal services. It's basically a giant church meeting where they would pray and commit to being a better person or better Christian. And yeah, I know, it sounds a bit more wholesome than the chaos we call New Year's Eve today.
Let's be freaking losers! Get out of your mind!
But I can't help but think that even they were secretly thinking about all the bad decisions they were about to make once the clock strikes midnight. And now here we are. We've taken the best parts of all of these traditions, the vague promises, the unrealistic expectations, and the inevitable failure, and we've turned them into the New Year's resolutions that we know and love today. This year, we're actually all about hitting the gym, eating clean, quitting smoking, and actually being a better person. But let's be real, by the time February comes along, most of us are going to be back on the couch, surrounded by takeout boxes, watching Netflix, and pretending we've never heard of a treadmill. So why do we keep doing this to ourselves? Maybe it's because deep down we love the idea of a fresh start, or maybe we just enjoy the delicious irony of failing spectacularly. Either way, here's to another year of setting ourselves up for failure, making promises we won't keep, and pretending like we're going to stick to it this year. And keep failing, because honestly, that's the most fun part.